had to get a color-coded bracelet.
Yes, like the one I'm wearing.
Yes, and you know who else does that? It's the Mexican cartel.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, and let's go, Brandon. I just came back from East Texas, a rural East Texas town, hundreds of miles away from the border, overflowing with tens of thousands of illegal aliens who are living in inhumane colonials ran by the cartel. Exploiting these illegal aliens and forcing them into perpetual bondage. There's absolutely nothing about this open border policies that is humanitarian. It promotes modern day slavery and wreaks havoc on on Texas citizens and illegal aliens alike. Okay, hello. It's been a little while since I've gone live. It is Friday, May the 20th, and there is a lot of stuff to talk about. News that is breaking today regarding this border and the border invasion that is going to continue to ensue. I hope that everything is up and running. I hope you guys can hear me good. If so, hopefully everything will go smoothly today. I am on a few different platforms today, adding a few from Getter to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and also the new platform, Patriot Live TV. So I am really excited and hopefully going to be reaching a larger audience as well with some really pertinent information that is really impacting all of us moving on forward. So we're growing, and of course we are streaming live through Patriot TV, patriotlivetv.com. You guys can absolutely please sign up there. You guys can find myself now, Latinos for America First, and Matt Couch, so many other Truth Slingers, so many other really great patriots trying to get the information out there. So hopefully everything is up and running and going smoothly. All good things, all exciting. But I just want to kind of jump right into it. Got a lot that I want to talk about. For those who follow me on my social media pages, you guys have probably seen there was a call to action made out. Thank you guys so very much for those of you who went to Secure the Border. .us and submitted your personal impact stories in your comments of how this massive invasion is impacting you in your respective areas. I handed that into the Senate Committee, Rural Affairs, Water, Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee, in which I also testified in. And if you guys have been watching that, you guys have probably heard me talk a little bit about Liberty County. And right before, it was actually a little project that I had started working on a while back, helping Todd Bensman with CIS. I've been blessed to be able to get connected with a few different amazing people there in CIS. It's a great organization, Center for Immigration Studies, that definitely leans a little bit more right. And so very blessed, a lot of really good information. And I, depend on them greatly to get some clear statistics and factual information. Because of course, my main focus is the great state of Texas, as it should be. And fighting this on the city, county, and state level, because there is a lot of things that we could be doing to try to help keep this at bay as much as possible. So, it was something that I started working on a while back, just help pulling stats. Really, that was it. And using that information that hopefully I'm going to be implementing in other areas right here in Texas, in the great state of Texas, to kind of really show you guys what the true impact is of this, this illegal immigration. That a lot of people probably don't consider and don't realize, especially here in the Metroplex areas. So yes, Ms. Hoffman, yes. Title 42 as of right now, for those who have not been caught up on some of the breaking news today, Title 42, the federal judge out of Louisiana in the federal court did rule in favor of barring the Biden regime and the CDC. The CDC, of course, that has impacted so many of our lives in so many different ways. And the corrupt organization that it is, it's not even a governing body. They can go shove it. Sorry. Hashtag not sorry. But anyways, they saw fit to try to say that Title 42 should be lifted up. Hey, I hate to tell you guys real quick. There have been now cases of monkeypox, right? Right here in the great US of A. And, honestly, there have been cases of monkeypox and other things that have crossed over our borders that the CDC conveniently refuses to ignore, okay, that you guys will not see on the media platforms or the CDC reporting on. Everything from dengue fever to monkeypox to Ebola, things far more deadly, high percentage of much more higher percentage of deadly outcomes than good old Rona. But they don't ever want that information to get out. However, there are now official cases that they are now reporting on of monkeypox, and I hate to tell you guys, but there's several cases from what I've been hearing from very credible sources along the border, in different areas along the border. If you guys have been following Anthony Aguero, he is with Border Network News and Oscar Blue. He himself has heard of these cases as well. He's back along the border, so please make sure to follow him and get that raw footage of what's really going on at our border. Monkeypox is one of the things. So expect to see more cases of that. Yeah, but anyways, Title 42, as of right now, the Biden regime is barred. Of course, there's no date put on this. It's been an injunction that was made. So, it still could be lifted at any time. It could be held for a while. So there's really no way of, or indefinitely until the next administration comes in. Who knows? But I can tell you this. There are hundreds of thousands, over about 170,000 to be more exact, have been waiting for Title 42 to be lifted. Bill Malhusian earlier today did report that over 2,000, and I did share that information that Fox News and that Bill reported on. He's down there in the Eagle Pass area, that over 2,000 in the Del Rio sector were just apprehended in 24 hours. That was just the Del Rio sector alone. This was prior to any ruling of Title 42, while this was still expected. And he's still showing the crowds of illegal aliens pouring over regardless of the ruling. For those who may not be aware, Title 42 has effectively been abolished, if you will, or not adhered to for quite some time along the border. It's just been quiet. So, it's I hope and I pray it is a good ruling. We know that the Biden regime and Mayorkas, DHS has been gearing up for this lifting with, and we're going to show some of the footage here that Jesse that was sent to me, that Jesse sent to me just a day ago or 2 days ago from another facility over there in Carrizo Springs. The facility in Eagle Pass costing $6 million a month. And that's just one facility. Look, DHS, and I can tell you as well, also being in there in the Capitol, there is, they are DHS, DPS, OLS operations are I would imagine, are still going to be functioning at full capacity as if this ruling has never happened. Because again, for those, hear me clear, Title 42 in many areas has already been effectively not adhered to. This ruling is great. I hope that it sticks. But the treasonous regime that we have in the White House and Mayorkas, the treasonous implementations or lack thereof that he has put forth, I'm just not very hopeful that they're going to be following the law. They haven't done so far. So I will be going back down to the Del Rio sector, possibly tomorrow or Sunday by the latest, and I'll be seeing it for myself. So it's been a while since I've been down there. Hey, Wyatt, I'm really excited to see you guys really soon. Guys, please follow the Texas Border Patriots. They have a lot of needs. These are great guys trying to do all that they can here in the great state of Texas. So please follow their Facebook page and help support them if you can, Texas Border Patriots. So yes, hoping to see them soon. But going into the trip prior to my trip to Austin, with that call to action I had and testifying in the Senate, I finally got the call and said, all right, let's go. Let's go to East Texas. Let's go see this for ourselves. The data that we pulled from the schools reflected, it showed, you could see these huge spikes. Todd Bensman is going to be writing. He's in the process of writing. I was just talking to him again this morning. He's in the process of writing his second book. So he's going to be including a lot of this information from Liberty County, Plum Grove, Dayton. We were in Plum Grove, Dayton, Cleveland, in his book, to kind of really go into the details of what how this truly impacts all of us. Literally every town is a border town. And this is one of the places, when they cross over, when these massive hundreds of thousands, are crossing over the border. Yes, South Texas is feeling the brunt of it, but guys, they are not staying along the border. They are coming to your town. They're coming to your city throughout the great state of Texas and throughout the United States. They are not staying in South Texas. They're not staying at the border in Arizona or California. They are being flown and sent via bus using our taxpayer dollars to do so. As a matter of fact, when I just got back from El Paso and flew back home, they were on my plane. They were on my plane with me with their envelopes. And as a matter of fact, as soon as we got out of my husband was picking me up, I go outside to wait for him to pick me up in Dallas Love Field. And one of them even asked me if I had a lighter. They're coming to your home. They're already there. I promise you, they are already there. And this is impacting you guys, every single one of us, in so many ways that it's hidden in plain sight, that chances are you don't know. So hopefully some of the information that I'm about to show to you guys today from this trip over there to Liberty County will be an eye-opener, because when we talk about fighting back on the local levels, okay, on the city, county, and state level, because that's what we have to go back to. If we're going to survive this regime, and not just with regards to the border, okay, when it comes to education, when it comes to healthcare, with the CDC and the WHO, guys, if you guys are not following what is going on and what's about to take place in Geneva from the 22nd through the 24th, okay, and on how they're about to sign over our sovereignty as a nation to the WHO, you guys are not paying attention. If you don't think that all this stuff is absolutely connected, you are sorely mistaken. This is not a mistake. Everything from the elections to the border to the CRT in the schools. I was on the Girls from Texas podcast earlier this morning. That was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to come on and for asking me to come on. And I said it. They asked, well, what is the end game? They asked my opinion. What is the end game? And I said, in my opinion, and I don't have any fancy titles. I'm just a regular homeschooling mom. I'm one of y'all. My husband works 2 jobs. We don't have a big fancy house. We pay our taxes, follow the law. That's it. We're just an ordinary Texas family. That's it. Okay. I'm one of y'all. In my opinion, from everything that I've seen over this last year and a half, from being out there on the border and being the lover of history that I am, the end game, I believe, is communism. And this WHO, what's about to happen in Geneva, it's all connected. It's all tied together, and it's not surprising. So if we're going to survive any of this, guys, we have to go back to state sovereignty, and we have to go back to fighting on the city and county and state level. It's as clear as that. And what I'm about to show you guys from Liberty County, this is clearly county and city levels. And yes, it goes higher than that. But what I'm about to show you guys is what you guys can be looking out for in your own neighborhoods, and what you guys hopefully will help stand up with me and start fighting back and pushing back and putting the pressure, because this has been going on for years, and it's exploding at a massive rate. So I'm just gonna dive right on into it, guys. Okay, because I can go on my little rants, and I'll probably have a few more between now and then, but now and the end of it. But anyways, so this area in Plum Grove, and I showed you guys some of the video and some of the testimony that I gave on it. This area, Plum Grove, Cleveland, when we got the stats back from in Dayton, and there's several other areas around there, these are little colonials, okay? And I'm about to kind of go into what that is and what that looks like. And some of it might be recognizable. As a matter of fact, when I also show you some of the building that is anticipating, because they're expanding in the great state of Texas, look out for it, guys, and stand with me to say this is not acceptable. And let's put it, I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. So let's just go into it. This area in Liberty County was previously, this is East Texas. This is about 45 minutes outside, 45 minutes to an hour outside of Houston. Okay. I love this area very much. You think Conroe, the Woodlands, I have a lot of family that lives over there. I've gone there a lot throughout my lifetime and my childhood. And one of the things that I love about this area is the trees. I used to live in upstate New York, and I loved the trees. Okay. So this area reminds me kind of some of the pine trees that I would see in upstate New York. And yes, I love my Texas. Guys, don't crucify me. I'm just saying the trees. I like the trees. Okay. Anyways, the trees are beautiful. And this used to be owned, this acreage used to be owned actually by Georgia and Louisiana Pacific Lumber Companies. This land was then purchased by a family, which is Los Torinos, okay? This is Trey and John Harris. And, I might have a very big target on my head after talking about this, but guys, I mean, it needs to get out there. There's been some coverage on this over the last few years. I'm going to show you guys some of the previous articles that was written, local articles. Houston Chronicle, I think, posted a small article about it. Very small amounts, but they don't actually they kind of skirt tail around what's really happening. They don't really get to the meat of how bad this area is. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys some of the coverage that has been on this area before this. And I will play this. This was back in 2015. So again, guys, this has been going on for years. The residents in one Liberty County subdivision living in bad conditions. Again, keep in mind, this is a very
in a
small,
relatively rural area in Southeast
it doesn't
Texas.
really
It's
get
a
to the meat of
regional
it, but
growth
it'll give
that
you
is
guys an
stretching
idea.
east.
I
So
hope
now
that you
a
guys can hear it.
developer is
Just let me
selling
know if you
lots
guys
for
can hear
buyers
this.
to build more homes.
But not all of the homes are what you might expect. Deborah Wrigley takes us there.
Can you guys hear
It
this?
advertises an
in
escape
Facebook?
from the city, land on which to grow, build a home, no restrictions, easy credit. That's the promise of Terrenos Houston about its subdivisions in Liberty County.
There's a family actually there. It's dried in, which you
That
got the
is Trey
roof,
Harris right there.
and then they just don't have the exterior finished.
Trey
Hmm.
Harris
They just
is
don't
the
have the
head of
exterior
Colony
finished.
Ridge, the developer behind Terrenos, and he has a target customer.
You know, these are the guys that fix
Thank
your
you.
car, the guys that mow your yard, the guys that probably built your house that you live in. You know, but they all blue collar.
See how many houses
That is a crook.
But there is more here.
Trey Harris,
than
you are a crook,
houses.
and you're wrong
Old
for
mobile
exploiting these
homes,
people.
Places that appear to be built out of scrap material, a
Stolen
cargo
material.
container with a tarp. Because this is unincorporated Liberty County, there's no regulation to control what's built here other than requiring water and sewer connections. Families can live on the land while they build a permanent home. That's what Maria Rivera planned.
Just building my home here, having, a decent place to live, and just having I guess, a good living. That's it. That's all I wanted. Mine is the main.
She financed 4 lots with Terrenos, got her water and sewer service, bought a travel trailer to live in, got a utility pole and meter from the power company, but she says she's still waiting for electricity.
And this is what they said to me. We deny service because it has wheels. The RV has wheels. No possible way that we can give you service.
She bought a woodshed, says she was refused service for that. Now she says she's out of money except to pay the note on the land at more than 12% interest. Some neighbors, she says, are in worse shape.
Instead of windows, they have just like blankets covering the window. And that's how they live right now.
Out of 8,000 lots planned, only 400 are now occupied, a small number. But already Cleveland schools are seeing enrollment go
Here's
up
the
by more
schools.
than 10%.
And we saw this
2
in the
years.
data.
A bond election is now on the ballot. Part of it would add classroom space.
It's significant for us. So it does present some challenges for the school district, especially on the
Okay. I'm
facility
gonna stop it right there.
It's
Some
the cost of
challenges.
growth that
Okay.
continues as
Let
more
me
timber
share a
is
little
cleared
bit
toward the
of what
subdivisions. The development is
let's see. Let's stop the stop. Stop. Hold on, y'all. Whew, it was still going on in my ear. All right. Sorry, y'all. Some challenges. Let me tell y'all what we saw. Okay. Plum Grove, if you look it up, Plum Grove, Texas, and one of the signs as we were going in there said that the population was 600. If you look it up from the last census that was done back in 2010, I think it was up. It had it up to about. I'm trying to find the sign. It had it up to like 700 and some change. We interviewed some people there. We went and spoke to some people. From their estimates, from the LEOs that we spoke to in this area, to some of the residents that live on these properties, we got estimates from 50,000 to 100,000. 50,000 to 100,000. This small school district, Cleveland ISD, is the hardest hit. That's where most of these children go to. Dayton ISD, it's starting to go into there, and starting to go into a few other local ISDs. It was the population of about like 4,000, and it skyrocketed now to currently over 9,000. They are massive amounts. The data that we got back, they're massive amounts of portables. Now, I went to Trinity High School, and I had a class out there in one of the 2 portables that we had. Okay. I'm talking like your usual portables, like have 2 classrooms, one on this end, one on this end. And I couldn't, when we got the data back, and I specifically about the portables, I'm going, what does an 8 to 10 classroom portable look like? And then you're talking hundreds of these sized portables, and ranging from 5 to 6 classrooms to 8 to 10 classrooms and office buildings. And when we got there, what I saw and what we saw was was these, I don't know what else other than like a graveyard of portables in every single school, from the elementary schools to the and I've got there's no way to really show this, like to really kind of show you guys like the photos and stuff that I show you. There's no way to really kind of explain it. You have to be able to see it for yourself. It's like portable graveyards, like portable whole towns, like whole new schools that were built out of portables. And how were they were passing this through like bonds, right? And then eventually the citizens said, yeah, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We can't afford this. And then they are building now, in the process. We went by and we drove by. They're building a whole new high school, huge, massive. And this is in addition to the portables. This is in addition to the expansions on the existing schools. Okay. This is in addition to all of that. They're building a brand new high school, another brand new junior high. And what's funny is that, and I'm going to show y'all here in a second, the Los Treños, the brothers, this family, which reportedly is in connection to the cartel, specifically the Gulf cartel, all the Elios there and the residents there all cite the Gulf cartel and Sinaloa cartel that are rampant in these areas, and that exploit these illegal aliens, because the vast majority of them are illegal aliens. And when we talk about modern day slavery, this is the epitome of it. Reports, and I'm going to show you guys some of the horrendous reporting that's coming, that are just going unnoticed, quiet. There's nothing humanitarian, and we say this over and over and over again. Everyone is suffering, from Texans and American citizens to these illegal aliens that are being exploited. No one is winning. Our children are suffering. You think that these kids right here are getting a quality education? When they don't even have enough ESL teachers. They're having to bring them from outside of the country. Same thing is happening right here in Fort Worth ISD. Do you want to know why? This is why. And who's that going to impact? The schools are, as our property taxes are going through the roof, the schools are the number one cost of your property taxes. And on the county levels, the schools and the hospitals, both of which are impacted by this massive wave of illegal aliens. And you can't believe that when our school systems, especially here in Texas, are failing and are so focused on CRT and the sexual grooming of our schools, everyone loses. Everyone loses. And our children, once again, are going to suffer. This impacts everyone, especially the already hit minority communities. You guys hear me talk about this. This is it. These kids are not coming, and these families are not coming here to live the American dream. They're being exploited. And it is GOP leadership on the state level and on the county level. You can't tell me that they do not know that this is going on. Let's continue, shall we? So what they're doing, Trey and John Harris, what they're doing is they're selling these small acres, these small acreage. They buy this and then they sell it, and then they give with when we spoke to some of the people who lived there, they are doing it in a way. Well, here's their website. They're doing it in a way. This is their website, Torino's Houston. Okay, they're talking about the schools. Look at this beautiful house. That house is much nicer than mine. I can tell you right now, that's not what I saw. This is their website. They easy financing. So what they're doing, ready to move in, they sell these little plots of lands. And from the people that we spoke to that have lived there for years, they're selling it to them from anywhere from 20 to 99-year notes. Hear what I just said, 20 to 99-year notes at extraordinarily high interest rates. That's just the plot of land. And what they're not doing, and we were actually told that this was actually an improvement from years ago. Look at these exploited families. Yes. Oh yeah, they're so happy. Here's the aerial views. This is exploitation at its finest, y'all. Horrendous. That one guy that Todd talked to said that he chose the 20-year note to get the better interest rate of 19% on just the land. And this, what they're doing, these are slapped together houses. So they sell them the plots of land. These are illegal aliens. They do not have social security numbers. They do not have documents, obviously, right? A lot of them, as this is expanding on a massive rate, a lot of them are fresh over the river. They are being used to then be put into these construction jobs. Okay. And what you see is stolen materials that they are getting from their construction jobs to slap together these houses. There's nothing up to code. Everything from the, I'm going to show one to y'all. Let's see if I can pull it up here. And I'm just to prove my point. These slap together houses, nothing up to code, everything from the streets, the concrete slabs. Oh yeah. You see that right there? D.R. Horton. Yeah, that looks like a D.R. Horton house, doesn't it? Yeah. And these people are being brought in to work these construction jobs for, the massive growth that's coming, everything from the Tesla facility to the Exxon facility, station over there in Houston, all these people, all these refugees from California and New York and other states that are fleeing and flocking to Texas. They all need homes. You see these homes coming up all over the place. Who do you think's building them? Where do you think they're getting these materials from? This is where they're housing them. They incentivize them to come here. We've talked about it before. There's nothing about Operation Lone Star as it currently stands that is actually set to stop any of this. They do not stop it. It's just not. That's hard fact. And that's their own. And I've shared several clips of our state senators and state legislators now asking those hard questions of going, so what are you actually doing to stop this? Their answer is like, well, we're putting up more concertina wire. Ask Ray and Wyatt how well that concertina wire is working. I've shown you guys photos of clothes, piles of clothes that is placed on the concertina wire, just push it down. And where are they going? We get asked this all the time. This is one of the spots right here in Liberty County. They've been coming here for years. And what's interesting, too, is that we were told by the people there that this is a unique little area because even under the Trump administration, DEA, ICE, HSI, nobody wants to touch this area conveniently. Nobody wants to touch this area. They all say, oh, it's Beaumont. Oh, it's Houston. Oh, it's this. And they keep on pushing it off. So some of the other things that is coming out, as you guys can well imagine, is claims of sex trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking. The what there is there is and I did reach out to them. There is an attorney that just recently, over the last few years, has been trying to, or the last few months, has been trying to build a case against these property owners. So these landowners, the Chirinos brothers, who is also connected to SRC, and I'm going to show you guys who they are and show y'all their plans to expand throughout Texas. Basically, calling the landowners out and all the corruption from the city and county levels all the way through the state level, and in this massive exploitation, charges and claims of sex trafficking and crimes against children in this area. And it's very easy to see how that's possible in an area like this. And this is happening on Texas soil, hundreds of miles away from the border. This is not acceptable. This goes down to the very city and county levels that we're talking about. This has been allowed to happen for years, and nobody's doing a damn thing to stop it. So it's time for people like you and I to stand up and try to do something about it. But this attorney's law firm has been trying to build this case, and back in October sent a letter to Paxton talking about exactly that. I'm going to read it right here. John Harris is one of it's Trey and John Harris. The immigrants are being, and of course I would say illegal aliens because that's what they are being baited to buy these third world like neighborhoods, thinking they are spending their hard earned money on the house of their dreams, their neighbors of their dreams. Harris is in fact targeting undocumented illegal aliens, immigrants. We know this because he asked for only two forms of ID from their country to be financed and mainly advertised in Spanish. I have pictures of the road signs that are made in Spanish first with English on the bottom. You go there and it is a transplant from Mexico or from a third world country somewhere, and just plopped right in the middle of Texas. I'm trying to find he goes into where is it? Yeah, they lose their, because they don't have any, tracking or anything like that, and they're all illegal aliens. It's very easy for them. One guy said that, if you're late 4 times, then it's like the tote the note kind of car dealerships, where if you got bad credit and they tote your car, it's the same kind of concept, the loan sharks, but for the houses and for this property. When they purchase these lots of land, they're purchasing just the plots of land. Here it is, right here. This is what I was looking for. Living in these neighborhoods developed by Mr. Harris is like living in a third world. I would agree. There's no way to, unless you see it for your own 2 eyes, there's no way to really, there's no photographs, there's no amount of video that could really show y'all. There are many reports of failing water systems, including detectable levels of E. coli in the water. There were several reports of feces running down the lakes and what's down the roadways, because you've got almost 50 to 100,000 people living in a rural county with plumbing and systems, made for 700, and the septic tanks just back up feces and trash and just raw sewage flowing down. And what's interesting is that there's a sign right there that says that it's a conservation area of the wetlands, because this should be where the hell are the freaking environmentalists? Where are they? It's a perfect example. Okay, gets worse. You may have heard about the sewage pouring out of the ground and about the sex trafficking, drugs, and child pornography and kidnapping in these American neighborhoods. Sounds like a squalor in another country, but it's happening right here in our Texas. Governor Abbott, you know about it. Previous Governor Perry, you knew about it. representatives on the state and local levels, y'all know about this. You guys have allowed it to happen. Now, don't get me wrong. As a matter of fact, today was the last day for early voting. We cannot afford Beto in office. But guys, what I saw and what I know from very credible sources, someone has to be held accountable. And if someone does not have the spine and the backbone and the balls to stand up and say that this is wrong, this must stop. It must stop. This is not acceptable. We are not, this is Texas. This is Texas. This is Texas. That's all I've got to say. This is Texas. Anyways, this is disgusting and it's happening everywhere. So, what you see are clear violations, okay? Clear violations of code enforcement. And what I also thought, numerous taggings, gang taggings, and let's see here. Gang taggings, as you guys can see, this was just some of them. Again, from the cartel, from MS-13. I'm going to show you guys some of the other... What I thought was interesting, this was this right here. Let's see here. Let's do that. This one photo was about the closest to an American flag that I could find in this area. We found everything from Cuban flag to Mexican flag to a El Salvadorian flag. I was hard pressed. This was about as close as I got to an American flag in this area. I don't even know what that is. Like, I mean, I know what I'm looking at, but I don't know what I'm looking at. If you guys don't think that this is not intentional, I don't know what to tell you guys. This is what it looks like. This is what the vast majority people are living in that. So they buy the plots of land and then they throw up with the material that they're able to get from their construction jobs, wherever they're able to find it. And they throw these things together. There's absolutely no code enforcement whatsoever. Again, this is on the county level. Like this is county level. County level. So again, some of the reports that have been coming out, this was a report that was done just to show you guys some of the cases of what has been reported from what they've actually reported on. This was right there. No, thank you. From the local news station. This was back in 2020. Deputies found one woman dead and one chained to a bed at a Texas home. Cleveland, Texas. We went by several houses where drug bust and human smuggling cases came out of. It's surreal. And what was funny is one of them, the names have not changed on the owners of these properties, these known cartel members there, and the cars had paper plates on it. They found a lot of stash houses here, illegal marijuana, obviously illegal here in the state of Texas, marijuana fields nearby. This has been going on for years. When we spoke to the male, there's some male lady that we spoke to, and another one that was kind of giving us her perspective from a walkie-talkie. She was very skittish. Very scared, very nervous to be there. She's dropping off this mail at these like mailboxes that are just growing. And she said that on average, she gets 2 new addresses a day added to her route, 2 new addresses a day. And she went on to say on how she was really scared and nervous because there's constantly gunfights going on in this area. It's not safe in a rural East Texas town. The other postal woman said that she gets on average about 5 new addresses a week, all with Hispanic last names. massive, just at a massive rate, just multiplying. They were able to talk to some of the local businesses there as well. That is actually hiring also some of these illegal aliens just crossing over the border. They come over here, they come to this area, come and work for a short time before they go on to their wherever they're going, Florida, Midwest, wherever they're going. I think what's just the most disgusting out of all of this is the fact that something could clearly be done. And like I said, I found it interesting that even under the Trump era, this area was for some reason untouched. They just won't touch it. And guys, with everything, even from the reports coming out today, again, of the Title 42 being held in place. Another thing, and this is one of the reasons why you guys know that I've become so passionate about it and why I've been doing this for over the last year, is because of what's happening to the children. And, I had 2 different people tell me today about another story that was going on right here in Texas. And from a nurse that has spoken out quietly and was very afraid to speak out about it. And she won't come out publicly, and I understand why. This is from a hospital from what I'm being told, not along the border. And if I find out more specifics, I will definitely report it to you guys. I keep on saying I'm not media. I'm not. I'm just trying to get the information out to you guys. But yeah, you guys know I'll try to keep you abreast on any information that I get, while still keeping everyone's identity safe and under wraps for security purposes. But the reports are that there are young girls from all different countries that are coming into these hospitals, some as young as 10 years old, who are coming in so severely injured from the brutal assaults. You guys can imagine what that is. We've all heard the reports of little girls coming in with like 32 different DNA in them. You guys know about the rape trees, which is very real. It is not conspiracy theory. Sex trafficking in Houston, right outside of Houston, right? We just showed you guys some cases right there, just locally from Liberty County, and the reports of far more that are going unnoticed. These voices that are not being heard, these screams that we will never hear about on freaking Fox News or any other CNN, MSNBC, all of them, all those bleeding heart liberals. You will never hear their screams. You will never hear these little girls' screams. They are coming in to Texas hospitals with such severe injuries from being brutally raped right here in Texas. And our hospitals are covering it up and slapping COVID death titles on it. This nurse was afraid to speak out about it. And I hope that somebody starts looking into, these are little girls, these are young girls who are not going to fall. It should stick out like a sore thumb. This data that's coming out of young aged girls that do not traditionally fall or succumb to death via coronavirus should be pretty easy to speak out or find or pinpoint and investigate. And I cannot, between that and what we know, you guys remember that last year Axios reported by their own admission, and of course there hasn't been any updates on it, these unaccompanied minors that are just over 40% of them, over 40%. And this was last year, June of last year, just gone, no trace of them. What the hell do you think is happening to them? I can tell you some of them are ending up in our hospitals with such severe injuries from horrific abuse And the hospitals are covering it up with COVID deaths. And what do you think is happening in this area of Liberty County? And what do you think is happening right here in Tarrant County and DFW, which is #1 for sex trafficking, and Houston, which is also, they go back and forth for sex trafficking here in the state of Texas. And while that is a horrific crime in itself, it's not just the sex trafficking, it's the drug trafficking, it's the exploitation and the modern day slavery. Everyone is losing. And there are things that you can do clearly. If there was enough noise made, if enough people, the people, according to the attorney that I did reach out to, and hopefully they did respond back to me via email. And I'm hoping to be able to speak to them soon. And if that does happen, and they're supposed to be breaking this story soon, according to the email, their correspondence to me, they have been harassed and bullied. And from what I'm being told, and this is unverified, let me make this clear. This is unverified at this point, but it's not going to be, hopefully we'll be able to follow the money. These are some big donors to some politicians. And once whoever follows this money trail, you guys, I told you guys before too, that during last year, when I was going around to these border awareness events and collecting these letters, that I was walking into the state legislators' offices, both Democrat and Republican, and demanding action, the different legislative things and immediate things that could be done, demanding action. And I had people at these MAGA events telling me, I'm not going to sign those letters because I benefit from illegal immigration. You're benefiting off of the exploitation of innocent children. And shame on you. And those bleeding heart liberals, there's nothing humanitarian about this. The environmentalists, what about the environment? We've also shown you guys the massive dump sites, along the border. Everyone's losing. Everyone. It is past time for us to get involved. If this is happening in your area, let me show you guys before I forget. I don't want to forget to show you guys this. I go off on my tangents. I'm sorry, y'all. So this is the other company that is involved, SRC Land, that is involved with Los Torrinos. I want you guys to look. Liberty County, Houston, Brownsville, Los Fresnos, Donna, Rio Hondo, San Benito. You guys can see Arlington, Rio Grande. Same builders. And I guarantee you that this is going to continue to explode. So guys, this is definitely something that you guys can be on the lookout for. And you guys can help raise heck with me to say that this is not acceptable, because again, we always talk about when people think about this border invasion, they think about what's happening right there at the river, and as they should, because it's absolutely horrendous. But again, guys, they're not staying there. They're feeling the brunt of it, and it's so obvious, but they're not staying there. Where are they going? This is one of the areas. How is it impacting you? This is one way, whether you realize it or not. It's there. It's in your area. It's in your schools. It's in your county. It's in your city. Look for it and fight back. A while back, I also did a whole live about the city of Denton, who passed a resolution with absolutely zero opposition. There was not one person testifying in opposition to this. They just coasted right through it, allowing for non-citizens to run for local office. Right here in Texas, in the city of Denton. Guys, there are things you may not be able to go down there to the border. You may not even be able to go out there to Austin. You can submit your comments online. You can make those phone calls, and you can support people who are trying to raise awareness, like the Texas Border Patriots, like myself, and like those of us who are trying to be out there and doing all that we can. Frank is running for Congress against Tony Gonzalez, Rhino Tony Gonzalez. Frank Lopez Jr., Raul Reyes, he's also running for state Senate. Guys, there's so much that you could be doing, but right there, and you become a border advocate right there in your city, in your county. Look out for these things, because I guarantee you, sit there and join forces with me, reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to help you get started to be able to pull some of this data and be able to look for some of these things. And I've gotten so many other hits of people coming in and flooding since I started talking about this, saying it's happening over here, it's happening over here. I'm going to do my very best to try to get to as many places as possible and try to expose it and try to call action to it. So right now, call your state senator, call your state legislator, tell them about what's happening in Cleveland and about in Plum Grove. Share this video with them. And that's another thing. Like and share this video. Share it out there. Get this information out there to all these different platforms. Share it and say, why is this allowed to happen? Make phone calls to the county commissioners over there in Liberty County and the city officials over there, because this is a city and county issue. There's clear code violations. Look, here's another one I wanted to show you guys. I knew exactly what I was looking at when I saw it. Let's see if hold on. It was very interesting, though. It was the first time, I guess, that I've seen it for myself, but, an illegal cockfighting ring. Oh, gosh darn it. That's like right there, like in the open. Oh, this is one of the photos of the children and the families that is living in a shipping container. It's hot. Living in a shipping container. Like none of this. Oh, here's I go on my rants and I forget to actually show you guys. And you guys know I'm not the most tech savvy person, so thank you guys for your patience. Here's the street signs that I was telling you about. Spanish on the top, English on the bottom. But there's a cockfighting ring just right out there, just out there, in the middle. And I also saw illegal horse racing, right there as well. Like you could see it from the streets. That's the insane thing. Again, like this is clear code violations with literal raw sewage and crap running down the streets. And people are living in these things. Water being brought in. Y'all down there in the rural areas, you guys know what this is. Because they don't have running water. Clear code violations. There was a new police department that was built, that had to be built out there in Plum Grove. I mean, and most of them, from what I'm hearing, from what we were told, a lot of it, the city's just using it because they come in here undocumented and they're using it because they pay cash for their traffic violations. But meanwhile, crime is through the roof. Sex trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking, stash houses. This should not be. Here's the picture of the El Salvadorian flag. Again, like I showed you guys the closest thing that I saw to an American flag. Here's the conservation. Again, for those bleeding heart environmentalists, you know, where are y'all? This is literally right there next to the massive expansion of plots. Bayou Land Conservation. Right there next to it. With literal crap running down the streets. So anyways, cockfighting rings, horse fighting or horse racing, all done illegally right out there. This all could be clear violations, code violations, and not a damn thing. That'd be an easy way to just stop this and shut it down. They're not doing it. So what I'm going to be doing now is heading back down there, hopefully to, like I said, tomorrow or Sunday at the latest, heading back down there to the Del Rio sector, and hopefully going to be seeing the Eagle Pass facility, and possibly also the Carrizo Springs facility out there, using our taxpayer dollars, of course. That's being all of this is being built. This was the footage from Jesse Perales. Hold on, let's see here. Of the massive facility. Thank you, Jesse. You guys can follow Jesse Perales. This is some of his drone footage. This right here is the massive facility in Carrizo Springs. If you guys remember, there's already 2 facilities. There's a detention facility in Carrizo Springs and a facility there for the unaccompanied minors. In Carrizo Springs. This is a new area that they believe is also, according to the patches, according to Jesse, what he said was that they have the DHS patches on there. This is a massive facility. Let me fast forward this a little bit so you guys can see how massive this is, with room for expansion. So yes, Title 42 is being upheld, at least in courts, at least temporarily. But again, I'm hard pressed to believe that that DHS and that the Biden regime and that the Mayorkas is going to let all of this building go to waste. So I'm hoping to be able to see this facility as well while out there. Obviously, they're not allowing anybody in it. That's not, but I'll at least hopefully get to see the area. So guys, it's past time, and thank you, Jesse. You guys follow him on Facebook. Hopefully he'll also get a Getter account soon so that you guys can also see some of this footage. Peter Perez, also from DeMitt County, also did some reporting. You guys follow Peter Perez. I've had him on the show before as well. Great patriot out there, brings a lot of really good information, because of course you guys know that DeMitt County, Carrizo Springs is also another really hard hit area. So you guys follow him too. I'm just trying to encourage to follow these different people so this way you guys can get the truth. And if I get down there, and you guys will know that I try to go live when I can and when I'm not going to compromise any positions or any of our LEOs or great patriots that are down there. I will go live and show you guys what I'm seeing. But guys, your action items: become a border advocate in your own city and county. Easy to do. Follow and support people like the Texas Border Patriots, like Peter Perez, like Oscar Blue, Anthony Guerrero. Support people that are running for office, like Frank Lopez Jr. and like Raul. Yeah, okay. I'm getting some wonderful comments here. It's okay, Mr. Take Off Your Clothes on Twitch. Have a blessed day. Okay. I swear, man, these trolls, it's so funny. How can you look at this stuff and just turn a blind eye to it? How can you look at it? How can you be okay with what's happening? How can you be okay with the exploitation of children? It's your regime. It's your resident that is allowing this to happen. And if you're here in the state of Texas, it's our elected officials that could be doing a lot more. Ask them why they're not. You're okay? Just let it go? Yeah. Yeah, just let it go. Okay. And I am not a the thing is, and he says here too, Trump works for Lucifer. Okay. I have never been a huge Trump person. Okay. He was a great president. He had great policies. He won me over, especially when he was there and was marching for the March for Life in DC, because no other president has done that. I am thankful for a lot of the things that he did. I'm not thankful that he keeps on meddling and giving advice where he shouldn't give advice. His endorsements, my gosh, please stop. Please stop. And if you're happy about what you keep on saying about this, the Kool-Aid being shoved into people's arms. Okay. You want to take credit for that, dude? Take it. Very upset about him with that. And I know a lot of other people are too. But he was a good president. And he did have good, solid border security. And one of the very first things that he put into place was Operation Talon to keep horrific sexual criminals out of our streets and out of our country. And that was Operation Talon. Y'all look it up. Operation Talon was one of the very first things that President Biden took off. Look it up. That is working for Lucifer. You allow known terrorists to come into our country. You allow known sex offenders and gang members to be released into our communities. That is working for Lucifer. So you can take that information and you can shove it. And I hope you sleep well at night, sir. Anyways, guys, go to securetheborder.us. You guys can tell, obviously, I'm on fire. Oh, one last thing, too. There was a reporter from RGV, Sydney Harris. Sorry, I had to make another little report there. Sydney Hernandez from RGV. She is a local reporter over there in that area. She reported a few hours ago that last night, Border Patrol units, the Weslaco Border Patrol units, were fired upon near Parr, Texas. They were shot upon from the Mexican side. Thankfully, no agents were harmed. The violence has been increasing. They have become more emboldened. If you guys follow my social media, you guys also saw where Stephen McCraw, the director of DPS, also went into detail about the Honduras illegal alien that was shot and killed 9 times, twice in the head, right here in Texas, because the cartel did him off, because he lost loads of human beings. There was also 5 illegal aliens that just were killed inside of a tractor trailer. Mr. Take Off Your Clothes Now on Twitch. They were killed, suffocated from heat exhaustion inside of a tractor trailer, thanks to your resident. There's nothing humanitarian. Everyone suffers. Everyone loses. Go to securetheborder.us. You guys can sign up there, send in your comments, your personal impact stories there. You guys will know that every single time any committee is hearing anything that is border related, I will be handing them in along with the legislative priorities. Please continue to send them in. That's right under the Take Action tab. securetheborder.us. You guys can also send out a message there to myself if you guys would like to be able to start becoming a border activist in your area. You can also donate there. If you guys can send $5 or $10 to help with some of the gas for some of this stuff, that would be great. It'd be great. If not, that's fine. You guys know I'll continue doing this as I have been for quite some time. But I will be going down there along the border soon. And then hopefully, as I get more tips, I'll be going out to other areas. So guys, send me the information, get active, engaged, and involved. Guys, I want to thank you guys so much for logging in. Look out for any lives that might be coming out soon as I'm going down there. And please keep the Texas Border Patriots and all of our LEOs along the border in your thoughts and your prayers. And if you guys will just also keep us in myself in your prayers, I will ask you. Our family has been attacked on so many different levels. So even throughout all of this, though, we're still championing on, and we're still getting out there and trying to do all that we can to help, of course, secure our border and do all that we can to save our great Texas. So guys, if you guys can donate anything that you guys can on the website securetheborder.us, find the action items there, and keep look out for any lives of any information that hopefully I'll be able to bring you guys while I'm down there. So thank you guys so much for logging in. Thank you for your time. To all the new viewers on Patriot Live TV. Hey, this is me. This is me. I go on my rants. I get angry. And so should y'all. So, and I hope that this brings a little bit of new information to you guys and what to be looking out for in your city and county levels. So thank you guys so much for logging in. God bless you guys. To all of those wonderful supporters, you guys know who you are. Thank you guys. And to all of those who have been contributing and helping to get me out there on the road into these different areas, I hope that you guys see the value in supporting me. So thank you guys so very much. Y'all have a great weekend. If you guys missed early voting, get out there on Tuesday. Tuesday's election. Yes, believe so. Tuesday is the election day. And of course, get out there and make sure that you guys vote for that it is the runoffs or the primary elections. So thank you guys so much. God bless you guys. And God bless our great Texas. And let's do all that we can, of course, to secure our sovereign state border and to save our sweet Texas. God bless you guys. Good night.
Tested for COVID,
Yes.
and I had to get a color-coded bracelet.
Yes, like the one I'm wearing.
Yes, and you know who else does that? It's the Mexican cartel.
Thank you for your time, and let's go, Brandon.